The night sky above Earth transformed into a blaze of lights, an ominous display of alien energy. Large warships loomed over the planet, casting dark shadows over the cities below. Humanity was about to face a challenge like never before as the alien forces descended. Their message was clear: submission or annihilation. In the heart of New York City, Captain James Jim Reynolds, a seasoned military leader, watched the invasion unfold on the monitors inside the underground command center. His face was grim as he listened to the alien broadcast echoing through the speakers. "This is Supreme Commander Zix of the Xylo Empire. Humans, you will kneel before us or face utter destruction." General Samantha Carter, an imposing presence with decades of experience, turned to Jim. "Captain, we need to mobilize our forces immediately. The Xyloans won't give us a second chance." Jim nodded, his eyes steely with determination. "Yes, ma'am. We'll show these aliens what humanity is made of." Jim's mind raced as he made his way to the barracks. The Xyloans were a technologically advanced race with a history of conquering planets. Earth's defenses were strong, but the element of surprise and the overwhelming force of the alien invaders made the situation dire. In the barracks, the elite unit of super soldiers, known as the Prometheus Squadron, was already gearing up. These soldiers had undergone rigorous training and genetic enhancements, making them faster, stronger, and more resilient than any ordinary human. Among them were Lieutenant Sarah Sparrow Johnson, known for her agility and sharp shooting skills, and Sergeant Marcus Tank Rodriguez, a powerhouse of strength and combat expertise. Jim addressed his team with a commanding voice. "Listen up, Prometheus. The Xyloans think they can make us kneel. They're about to learn a hard lesson. We are Earth's first and last line of defense. Let's show them the strength of humanity." The team responded with a unified roar, their spirits high despite the dire situation. They boarded their advanced dropships, sleek and armed with the latest technology, and ascended into the night sky, ready to confront the alien invaders. The dropships streaked through the sky, weaving between alien fire and debris. Jim's heart pounded as he monitored the team's progress on his HUD. The Prometheus Squadron's target was the main Xyloan command ship hovering above New York. "Stay sharp, everyone," Jim's voice crackled over the comms. "Our goal is to disable their command ship and take out their leadership." The dropships landed with precision on the hull of the massive alien vessel. The soldiers quickly disembarked, their boots clanging against the metal surface. Sarah took point, her eyes scanning for any sign of movement. "Contact!" she yelled as a group of Xyloan soldiers emerged from a hatch, weapons raised. "Engage!" Jim ordered. The battle was fierce and immediate. Sarah's sharp shooting skills were on full display as she took down enemies with pinpoint accuracy. Marcus charged forward, using his brute strength to overpower the alien soldiers. The rest of the team followed suit, fighting with a mixture of precision and ferocity. Jim covered their flank, his rifle blazing. "We need to move fast, Sarah. Find us a way inside." Sarah nodded and sprinted toward a control panel. With swift, practiced movements, she hacked into the system and opened the hatch. "We're in, Captain." The team moved through the narrow corridors of the alien ship, encountering heavy resistance at every turn. The Xyloans were formidable combatants, but the Prometheus soldiers' advanced training and enhancements gave them the edge. As they approached the command center, Jim signaled for a halt. "Marcus, breach the door." With a powerful kick, Marcus shattered the door, and the team stormed inside. Supreme Commander Zix stood at the center, flanked by his elite guards. His eyes gleamed with a mixture of surprise and anger. "You dare defy us!" Zix roared, his voice echoing through the chamber. Jim stepped forward, his weapon trained on the alien leader. "This is our planet. We won't kneel to anyone." Zix snarled and drew his weapon, a sleek alien rifle. The room erupted into chaos as the Prometheus squadron engaged in a deadly firefight with the Xyloan guards. Jim and Zix exchanged fire, each shot a testament to their resolve. Sarah moved with lightning speed, taking down the guards one by one. Marcus shielded the team with his massive frame, absorbing the brunt of the enemy fire. The fight was intense, but the Prometheus soldiers were relentless. With a final, precise shot, Jim hit Zix's weapon, disarming him. The alien commander fell to his knees, his defiant gaze locked onto Jim. "It's over, Zix," Jim said, his voice firm. "Order your troops to stand down." Zix's eyes flickered with a mixture of hatred and resignation. "You may have won this battle, human, but the war is far from over." Jim's grip tightened on his weapon. "We'll be ready for you." The team secured the command center, transmitting a message to the Xyloan fleet to retreat. The battle was won, but the cost had been high. As the Prometheus squadron made their way back to Earth, they knew that this was only the beginning of their fight to protect humanity. The aftermath of the battle left Earth in a state of cautious relief. The Xyloan fleet had retreated, but the damage to major cities was extensive. The Prometheus squadron returned to New York to find a scene of destruction and resilience. Humans were already working together to rebuild, displaying the indomitable spirit of humanity. General Carter convened a debriefing session in the underground command center. The room was packed with military personnel and government officials, all eager to hear about the mission. Jim stood before the group, his expression serious. "We managed to disable the Xyloan command ship and force their retreat, but this is far from over. The Xyloans won't give up easily, and we need to be prepared for their return." General Carter nodded. "Agreed. We'll need to strengthen our defenses and gather intelligence on their next move. Prometheus Squadron, you did an exceptional job, but we can't rest yet." Sarah, Marcus, and the rest of the team listened intently, their faces reflecting the determination and fatigue from the battle. "We'll do whatever it takes to protect Earth," Sarah said, her voice resolute. General Carter acknowledged her with a nod. "We're counting on you. We'll also need to coordinate with our allies. This fight is not just about Earth. It's about the survival of all free planets." As the meeting continued, plans were made to bolster Earth's defenses and gather allies from across the galaxy. The Prometheus Squadron would be at the forefront of this effort, leading missions to secure resources, forge alliances, and strike at the heart of the Xyloan Empire. Jim looked at his team, pride swelling in his chest. They had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious, but he knew the challenges ahead would be even greater. After the debriefing, Jim gathered the team for a private meeting. "I know you're all exhausted, but we have more work ahead of us. We need to be ready for anything." Marcus cracked a weary smile. "What's new, Captain? We've always thrived on challenges." Sarah nodded in agreement. "We'll be ready. We always are." Jim's gaze was filled with gratitude and determination. "I know we will. Let's get to work." The Prometheus Squadron embarked on a series of missions to gather allies and resources. Their first stop was the planet Elysium, a thriving world known for its advanced technology and powerful defense systems. Elysium's leaders were hesitant to involve themselves in the conflict, but the recent invasion of Earth had changed their perspective. Jim, Sarah, and Marcus met with President Alara, the charismatic leader of Elysium. They were escorted into a grand hall adorned with intricate designs and advanced holographic displays. "Welcome to Elysium," President Alara greeted them warmly. "We've heard of your bravery in the recent battle against the Xyloans." Jim inclined his head respectfully. "Thank you, President Alara. We come seeking your alliance. The Xyloans are a threat to all free planets, and we need your support to stand against them." Alara's expression turned serious. "We have remained neutral for too long. The recent events have shown us that the Xyloan threat is real and imminent. Elysium will stand with Earth and the other free planets. Sarah's eyes brightened with hope. Thank you, President Alara. Together we can turn the tide against the Xyloans. Alara nodded. We will provide you with our advanced technology and defense systems. Our scientists and engineers will work with your team to strengthen your defenses and develop new strategies. Marcus couldn't help but smile. That's exactly what we need. Thank you, President Alara. The alliance with Elysium was a significant victory, but the Prometheus Squadron knew that their mission was far from over. They continued their journey, visiting other planets and forging alliances with diverse species. Each new alliance brought hope and strength to their cause. On the planet Tiberian, a world of skilled warriors and strategic minds, the Prometheus Squadron met with General Thalon, a respected military leader. Thalon's forces were known for their discipline and tactical prowess, making them valuable allies. General Thalon greeted Jim with a firm handshake. Captain Reynolds, I've heard much about your exploits. It would be an honor to fight alongside you. Jim returned the handshake with a determined smile. The honor is ours, General Thalon. Together we can defeat the Xyloans and ensure the safety of our worlds. Thalon's eyes gleamed with resolve. We will not rest until the Xyloan threat is eliminated. My warriors are ready to join the fight. With each new alliance, the Prometheus Squadron's confidence grew. They had united planets and species, each bringing their unique strengths to the coalition. The Xyloans had underestimated the power of unity, and now they would face the combined might of the galaxy's defenders. The coalition forces gathered on the staging ground on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. The vast expanse of the moon's surface was transformed into a bustling military base filled with ships, soldiers, and advanced weaponry. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation and determination. Jim stood on a platform, addressing the assembled forces. Today, we stand united against a common enemy. The Xyloans believe they can conquer us, but they are about to learn the true power of our alliance. We fight not only for Earth, but for every free planet in the galaxy. A cheer erupted from the crowd, a powerful display of unity and resolve. Sarah and Marcus stood by Jim's side, their expressions reflecting the gravity of the moment. "We've got this, Captain," Marcus said, his voice filled with confidence. Sarah nodded, her eyes fierce with determination. "We'll show the Xyloans that they messed with the wrong galaxy." The coalition forces launched into space, their ships forming a massive armada. The Xyloan fleet awaited them, a dark and ominous presence in the void. The battle that ensued was unlike any seen before, a clash of vast forces that shook the very fabric of space. Jim directed the battle from the bridge of the flagship, coordinating attacks and defenses with precision. "Focus fire on their command ships. We need to disrupt their chain of command." Sarah led the fighter squadrons, her maneuvers swift and lethal. "Stay on my wing. We've got to keep their fighters off our bombers." Marcus commanded the ground forces, prepared to board and disable enemy vessels. "Prepare for boarding operations. We're taking the fight to them." The battle raged on, every moment filled with intense action and strategic maneuvers. The coalition forces fought with unwavering resolve, their unity and determination shining through the chaos. As the battle reached its peak, Jim received a critical update from the intelligence team. "Captain, we've identified Supreme Commander Zix's flagship. Taking it out could turn the tide." Jim's eyes narrowed with focus. "All units, target Zix's flagship. This is our chance to end this once and for all." The coalition forces focused their firepower on Zix's flagship, the combined might of their ships overwhelming the Xyloan defenses. The flagship's shields faltered, and the hull began to break apart. Jim led a boarding party, determined to confront Zix face to face. They breached the flagship's hull, fighting their way through corridors filled with Xyloan soldiers. The final confrontation took place in the command center, a tense and brutal battle. Zik stood defiant, his eyes blazing with anger. "You think you can defeat me, human? The Xyloans will never surrender." Jim's voice was cold and resolute. "Your reign of terror ends today, Zix." The battle was fierce, each side fighting with everything they had. In the end, it was Jim's determination and the strength of the coalition that prevailed. Zix was defeated, and the flagship was destroyed. The coalition forces emerged victorious, the Xyloan fleet in disarray. The Battle of Titan was a turning point, a decisive victory that marked the beginning of the end for the Xyloan Empire. The victory at Titan was celebrated across the galaxy. The coalition forces returned to their respective planets, hailed as heroes and saviors. The Prometheus Squadron was honored for their bravery and leadership, their names becoming legends. On Earth, the rebuilding process began in earnest. Cities were restored and new defenses were constructed to guard against future threats. The alliance forged during the war remained strong, a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. Jim, Sarah, and Marcus continued to serve, guiding the reconstruction efforts and maintaining the coalition's strength. Their leadership was instrumental in ensuring that the peace and prosperity won through their victory would endure. Dr. Tessa's research into the stellar essence continued, leading to numerous scientific advancements. The energy source that had once been a threat was now harnessed for the betterment of all, providing clean energy and technological innovations that transformed society. The coalition established a council to oversee the ongoing cooperation between planets, fostering diplomacy and mutual support. The lessons learned during the war strengthened their resolve to protect and preserve the freedom they had fought so hard to achieve. As the years passed, the galaxy thrived. The legacy of the Prometheus Squadron and the Coalition's victory lived on, inspiring future generations to strive for unity and resilience. The stars, once a symbol of mystery and danger, now represented hope and infinite possibilities. Jim stood on the observation deck of the new flagship, gazing at the stars. "We've come a long way, but there's still so much to explore and discover. We'll face whatever challenges come our way, just as we always have." Sarah joined him, her eyes reflecting the same determination. "Together we can achieve anything. The future is bright and it's ours to shape." Marcus's voice echoed their sentiments. "We'll keep moving forward, stronger and more united than ever." The Prometheus Squadron set off on new missions, their journey of exploration and defense continuing. The galaxy was in good hands, and the legacy of their bravery and unity would endure for generations to come. As the Prometheus Squadron embarked on their new missions, they encountered a mysterious signal originating from a distant, uncharted region of the galaxy. The signal was unlike anything they had ever encountered, and its origins were unknown. Determined to find its source, Captain Jim Reynolds ordered the squadron to set course for the signal's location. The journey took them to the edge of known space, a region filled with ancient ruins and celestial phenomena. As they approached the signal's source, the squadron was met with a sight that left them in awe. A gigantic, derelict spacecraft, partially embedded in an asteroid. Scans indicate this ship has been here for centuries, maybe even millennia. "Doctor," Tessa reported, her voice tinged with excitement. "Its design is unlike anything we've seen before." Jim nodded. "Prepare a boarding team. We need to find out what happened here and why the signal is still active." Sarah, Marcus, and a group of elite soldiers boarded the ancient vessel. The interior was dark and silent, filled with remnants of advanced technology and eerie alien architecture. As they explored, they discovered signs of a violent battle, damaged corridors, blast marks, and ancient skeletons. "Whatever happened here, it wasn't peaceful," Marcus noted, his voice echoing in the empty halls. The team reached what appeared to be the ship's command center. A large crystalline device pulsed with a faint glow, the source of the mysterious signal. Dr. Tessa began analyzing the device, her brow furrowed in concentration. This technology is remarkably advanced. It's a data storage unit, and it's still operational, she explained. As Tessa accessed the device, a holographic projection filled the room. The image of an alien, tall and regal, appeared before them, speaking in a language the squadron's translators struggled to decipher. Greetings, travelers. If you are seeing this message, then our time has passed. We were the Draconians, a civilization that once thrived in this galaxy. But we were betrayed from within, and our empire fell. Beware the shadows, for they will rise again. The hologram faded, leaving the team in stunned silence. Shadows? Sarah asked, her voice filled with apprehension. What could that mean? Jim's expression was grave. We need to get this information back to the Council. Whatever this threat is, we need to be prepared. Back on New Horizon, the Prometheus Squadron presented their findings to the Galactic Council. The discovery of the Draconian ship and the warning about the shadows had everyone on edge. President Alara addressed the meeting, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. The Draconians were an advanced civilization, and their warning cannot be taken lightly. We must uncover the nature of this new threat and prepare for it. General Thalon, who had become a key ally, spoke next. We've faced many challenges together, and we will face this one as well. Our first priority should be to gather intelligence on these shadows and understand their capabilities. Jim, Sarah, and Marcus were tasked with leading an investigation into the shadows. They began by scouring ancient records and historical texts from various civilizations, searching for any mention of this mysterious threat. Their search led them to a remote planet known for its vast archives of ancient knowledge, Viridian. The planet's surface was covered in dense forests and towering mountains, with a massive library complex at its center. The squadron was greeted by Archivist Lyra, the keeper of Viridian's knowledge. "Welcome to Viridian," Lyra said with a warm smile. "We were expecting you." Jim raised an eyebrow. "Expecting us?" Lyra nodded. "The stars have foretold your arrival. The knowledge you seek is here, but it comes with a warning. The shadows are not just an external threat. They can infiltrate minds and corrupt from within." As the team delved into the archives, they uncovered ancient texts and holographic records detailing the rise and fall of the Draconian Empire. The shadows were described as an insidious force capable of manipulating and controlling individuals, sowing discord and chaos. Sarah shuddered as she read the accounts. If these shadows can control minds, how do we fight them? "Doctor," Tessa's voice was filled with determination, "we develop countermeasures. If they can control minds, we must find a way to protect ourselves and identify those under their influence." With this new information, the squadron returned to New Horizon, their minds racing with the possibilities and the enormity of the task. Ahead, the shadows were a threat unlike any they had faced before, and they had to be ready. The Prometheus Squadron wasted no time in developing strategies to counter the Shadow's insidious influence. Dr. Tessa led a team of scientists and engineers in creating advanced neural shields and detection devices designed to protect against mental manipulation. As they prepared, reports began to surface of unusual behavior and unexplained conflicts within the coalition. It became clear that the shadows were already at work, subtly infiltrating and destabilizing their ranks. Jim called an emergency meeting. "We need to act fast. The shadows are already here, and they're trying to tear us apart from within." Sarah's face was set with determination. "We need to deploy these neural shields and start screening our personnel immediately." Marcus nodded in agreement. "And we need to find the source of their influence. If we can cut off the head, the body will fall." The squadron began the laborious task of screening their allies, using the new detection devices to identify those under the Shadow's influence. The process was slow and fraught with tension, as trusted friends and comrades were revealed to be unwitting agents of the enemy. Amidst the screenings, the squadron received a distress signal from Elysium. President Alara reported escalating conflicts and suspicious activities that hinted at deeper infiltration by the Shadows. Jim and his team rushed to Elysium, their ship cutting through space with urgent speed. Upon arrival, they found the planet in turmoil, with factions rising against each other and chaos reigning in the streets. "Secure the command center and find Alara," Jim ordered as they landed. The team fought their way through the battle-ridden streets, their neural shields protecting them from the Shadow's influence. In the command center, they found Alara, guarded and cautious. "Captain Reynolds, thank the stars you're here," Alara said, relief evident in her voice. "The Shadows have sown discord among our people. We need to find and neutralize their agents." Working together, the squadron and Elysium's forces identified key individuals who were compromised. As they neutralized these agents, the situation began to stabilize, but the Shadow's influence was still pervasive. Dr. Tessa analyzed the data they had gathered, her brow furrowed in concentration. "There's a pattern here. The Shadow's agents are being coordinated from a central point. If we can find and disrupt their command, we can stop their operation." With this new lead, the squadron set off on their next mission, to locate and destroy the Shadow's central command. The fate of the Coalition and the future of the galaxy depended on their success.